Okie dokie. So, here's the system. This is all the proof of concept world, right? So, now I'm standing right on this chunk boundary. We move. Oh, goes to that chunk boundary. Yeah. So this is very useful because it means I can A, detect what chunk the player is in, and then also have a predetermined position to spawn in pieces of the dungeon system. Now, the hope is that I've written it out all correctly, and we can hop into the main world, and it all functions, but chances are that's not going to happen. So, just to quickly go over it, right? Why not? All I'm doing is grabbing our current position and then dividing it by 16. So by doing that, Minecraft takes care of the rounding, meaning that right now, as you can see, we are 32, 16, right? So after I do divide it, I am then timesing it by 16, right? So hence 1 becomes 16, no matter where we are in this chunk. If we go back, it's now 0. 0 by 16 is still 0. If we go over here, it should be negative 16. So, fingers crossed. All works as it should, and we can hop in here and try it out. Go time set day. First thing we should really check though is make sure all the functions are actually there. So we want tick player, which we can see, perfect. And then we want enchanters labyrinth. And I need to look up how many there are in the folder, just to make sure they are all there. So build, control, crucible spawn, teleports, coming 1, coming 2, going 1, going 2, mob spawn, treasure spawn. Cool, so they're all beautifully there. Means we should be fine to clear our inventory and spawn in a marker which will act as the gateway. Spawn in where we are. And I believe the tags I need, square brackets, are going to be season. And then, God, what's the other tag? I think it's gate, but I'll have to look this one up. It should be under entities, interactions, controller. There we go. So the one we're looking for is this labyrinth gate. So we spawn in a marker with these 2 tags. There we go. It spawns in a end portal gate. Some item frames. I don't know, I was just looking for something to border it and then also make it glow if it's underground. The nice thing is, if we chuck an ender eye into this one, yeah, it opens up a little mini portal, which we can then hopefully 1, 2, and we get taken to the dimension, but unfortunately it's not building. That's an issue. Actually I know what the problem most likely is I have not reloaded the scoreboard. Looking for labyrinth gates. I'm looking for what I have to tag myself with to get out of here. Add S, add that, and we should go back to where we were. Perfect. Now if we go function, rune chant. I always thought this loads as soon as you load the world. God damn it, I'm in survival. Bad zombie. And buff too. Alright, let's try again. So if we go function, rune chant, load scoreboards. That should help it. We get teleported. Nope, nothing is still being built. Alright, so this is where we have to start troubleshooting. If we look at what's meant to be happening, we have pick players. We need to scroll down and find this one. Alright. So right now, scoreboards Labyrinth X and Labyrinth Z should be working. Active, set display. They are all there, so that's perfect. So X, again, this just counts what chunk we're in, right? So again, just outputs the exact coordinates for the chunk border. That's working. We have Z, should do the same thing, but we have to go in the opposite direction. And then we have X old, which should be 1 tick behind and allows me to do some things. Then we have random, which should update randomly, only when it's called upon, yeah. Okay, so all the scoreboards are functional. So basically what happens is we get teleported into the labyrinth. Coordinates being updated, so I don't have to worry about that. What we're looking for is this build function, which should basically trigger whenever the labyrinth X is not equal to labyrinth old. Now I hate that you can't have multiple scoreboards shown at the same time, but I would assume they are still tick delayed, because they're meant to be tick delayed as long as I put them in the correct position, right? So execute unless they're equal, then it will store X old as the current X. So that's all fine, as long as all the spelling is correct. Labyrinth. Labyrinth always looks so weird to me. So it is fine. Let's have the controller function. We have the teleport in. So the teleport in should also be doing something. And it's not. Tag S list. Yeah, we don't have any tags, so the teleport system fully functional. Enchanter's Labyrinth, coming 1, coming 2. Basically what should happen, slash is happening, is it records what dimension we came from, which is very important. That's how we teleport back, as well as our position, right? And that way when I go back to the overworld, I get put in the right spot. And then it runs this function, which should be building the labyrinth, but it's not, and that's a problem. Labyrinth teleport coming 2. Labyrinth teleport coming 2. So as long as we have this tag, which we do, then it should be fine. What we need to just test is if we go say hi, save all. We just want to see if it is outputting. So we can teleport back. Unfortunately, it puts me in survival, which I don't want to be. Creative. Runs around anyway. We can just do this to go back. Okay, so it is saying hi. So the function is running, which makes me curious why it's not doing anything. Now, the arm stand is not invisible, so I should be able to see it wherever it spawns. But it's nowhere. The only thing I can sort of surmise is we are not loaded in quick enough for this to work. Which does make sense. And also, if there's no arm stand, there's nothing else. But basically, the arm stand should spawn in where we are, and then everything else should run. And we require an arm stand for this to work, and there we go, it does. It's not updating. It's also a problem, because it should be updating, because these scoreboards do update. Oh, that time it did. Yeah, okay. Why is it only updating sometimes? If we move in that cardinal direction, it does update. And we also have the random score working at the same time as well. We update... So it only updates when we go positive, it looks like. It's very curious. Because in testing, it works as it should. This is very much a throwaway world. Hey, Jassy. I'm doing well. How about you? Let's see if this works. Ah. No, build is correct. And build exists. Alright, I guess we go check what build does. So build, we're executing out the arm stand, which is fine, in that little corner. And then build should place the templates. I'm trying to get Minecraft to make random dungeons, basically. Rather than, you know, having a dimension, where's the arm stand? Having a dimension load in when we load into said dimension. I'm going to do it manually so I have a little bit more control over it. It's not quite working. I'm curious why not. Random is the right scoreboard. Match is 1. Execute at, not as. That should make a difference. Should be able to just place this template too anyway. As part of a data pack for whoever wants to download it and enjoy. Alright, so that worked. It does spawn it in. It's not doing it on behalf of the little armor stand down there for whatever reason. Cool, okay, that time it did. And it built the whole tower, which is good. Curious. Did it again, perfect. So I have these pre-built sections that all interconnect. Should be controlled by the armor stand down there, but it is having some difficulty. At least it's working now. Move to whatever corner we move to. Yeah. But it should be causing more stuff to load in than it is. Suppose I can just try this function as a whole. Alright, so that builds a lot more, which it should. Teleport me to a very weird position, but that's fine. So it should build a 3x3, which it has, along with some other segments for whatever reason. Alright, well, we can test some other stuff while we're here. Because some of it's not working. All these frame markers should be replaced or have a chance to be replaced by specific other blocks. So, okay, so the spawners, it should spawn in either spawners or the new, I think they're called just trial spawners. But if we touch the spawner, we should be sent home, which we are. Perfect. We go to the right position. Oh, alright, so that still works too. If we fall out of the world, we also teleport home, which is great. So all the safety features are working. Just the initial build is not. Yeah. I need to figure out why this is not running by itself, basically. We can manually run it, and it works. Should be the right dimension. So for instance, this should be running constantly, which it's not. Yeah, controller's there. Did I misspell anything? That'd be a no. Are we in the right dimension, I suppose, is the next question. Yeah. Okay, so we're in the dimension, so it should be running. Oh, is the music a bit loud? Sure. See if that's any better. We'll go a little bit lower. Okay, so this function is also not, for whatever reason, running, despite it existing and also working. Let's see if the segments in it work. Alright, so we have some item frames here. We do this function. It's running, but it's not quite doing anything. That's also a problem. Ooh. Alright, so weirdly the function is running. I just added the say hi to it. Of course it's running, because this section's working. Then why are none of these doing anything? The treasure spawn should be checking if there is a item frame with a chest in it. And it should be trying to replace it with a shulker box that it then inserts loot into. Ah. This one's a doy moment, right? Because they're glow item frames, not normal item frames. Alright, so this is somewhat of an easy fix. Glow item frame. Here over the say hi, so we can save all. Okay, so if we reload. Yeah. Although, I also messed up. Because I betcha I did not limit the destruction. Yeah. They all got deleted at the same time, which is wrong. Well, actually, this is unless there's an air block on it. You can manually try and do it too. Grab out the glow item frame and a chest. Alright, so that time it worked, and there's loot inside. And that time as well. That time it got deleted. If there's a whole bunch of them, yeah, they should work one by one. Sure, what would you like to ask, Cassie? Good with the fog. I have no real great way to clear it. Alright, so we still have to figure out why the build is not working. Probably need some sort of delay. Well, I appreciate you taking the small steps to ask. Straight up though, unfortunately I'm not looking for anything at the moment, and I do the majority of my channel art myself, so yeah. So my Discord should be in the description, and you're more than welcome to share stuff. But I'm really not looking for anything. Just to be 100% crystal clear with you, so don't waste any of your time. Alright. This function works, these functions work, within reason. The issue is this segment. I'll stand sort nearest limit, so there's not a distance requirement, so that should be fine. We already know it says hi when we teleport in. Oh, no. Yes. Should add a delay to it by doing this. If dimension enhances labyrinth. Yeah. That might be enough to make it functionally work. It won't run unless we're actually in the dimension. Where's the tag? Actually, I could just drop out of the world. You're gonna get me. Oh, I broke it, I think. Why are you not teleporting me? We have number 2, which is kind of weird. Right, because 1 doesn't actually teleport us to the dimension. Ah, okay. I understand the issue now. I'm doing things in the wrong order. Well, I think I have to add another delay into it and have it be 3 steps in order to do what I want it to do. Yeah, so it's still not building. It's basically the function packet runs all at the same time rather than putting me near and then running. We just have to add a 3rd step to it that handles everything else. The 3, and this one should be the if. Done. Save all. Close everything because I absolutely hate the clutter. Okay, so what we should actually do first is have this one teleport you to the correct position. And have this one teleport you somewhere way up high. And it doesn't have to do anything else. It does have to tag you. Go add. Thing looks fine. Save all. Alright, so we should be able to pull out of the world. Get sent home. Perfect. And then go back. And we pray. And it's still not working. Even with the delay. So it's definitely because there's delay. Wow, actually I can see, right? If I run it now... Function... Rune chant... Chant is Labyrinth, coming 3. Alright, so it summoned the armor stand, put me in the correct position, but it did not build anything. Why is that? If I do it now, will it? No, it's the answer. Updates are randomizer, but it's not building. There must be something to do with the random number generator not working the way I think it does. Have I done this the right way? I believe I have, right? It goes... If score, random, matches, 1. Yeah. What are we on? We're on 1. That works. Aside from the fact that it places it in the wrong position, but that's fine. Perhaps it's executing as is the problem. That should build it, but it's not. Execute at the armor stand nearest, if score matches. Place templates. Is it placing it in a different... Where the... why are you not updating again? I also don't know what quite breaks this. It's no longer moving. Maybe the templates didn't save properly. No, because I placed it up there and it works correctly. Why are you not building? Executing at the armor stance, that's fine. I can throw in the positions section. Doesn't matter. Doesn't. It's trying to place at the right coordinates, but it's not placing anything. That's all correct. It just doesn't like doing it on behalf of the armor stand, I guess? Right, if I position this myself. 0, 0, negative 16. It builds. But simply doesn't like the armor stand portion. Very, very confusing to me. Also, the amount of loot that's spawning is quite abysmal. I think I need to change that too. So, just... God, let me out. Where's the exit? Oh, there one is. I also am not seeing the armor stand again. I mean, it looks good. Just a severe problem with it not spawning in. Nor the... Oh, there we go. Now the armor stand decides to update. Is it the spawn chunk? Is that what's being protected? Because that just worked. All the layers. And that's kind of weird though, if it can't place something. Just in the spawn chunk. God, what is it? It's like TP 8. Call it 50. Right, so once again, this is the spawn chunk. And it builds now. Yep. All of a sudden, it's working. It's just very, very weird. Everything's being built correctly. We're getting all the segments as we should. Actually, I can just touch this stuff. I'm looking for that. We go back. Oh, apparently it's broken again. River Labyrinth Tally. Is it just awful tick lag? Yeah, it's awful tick lag because there's an abundance of entities. Curious what all the entities are. I mean, I assume it is the item frames, but the item frames should also be quickly taken care of. But you can go up by hundreds. Yeah, no. See, that's a respectable amount. Being 0. We're going to the right position now. Well, the nice thing is, I can just go home, really heal up. We can just delete the dimension. And start again, see if it works or not. And make sure I'm flying. Yeah, so back to it, not working at all. F3T. Didn't spawn in a bunch of entities, so that's fine. You manually do the command again. It works. Right, so it's definitely the weird delay that's causing issue. The other thing that should happen, me moving about should be causing other updates to occur. They're not. Alright. We need some sort of delay. That's fine. It's technically fine. How do I get around the delay? Guess I add in a timer. I really want to add in a timer. And have it be once we reach a certain height. Right, once we start falling, I suppose? Actually, you probably start falling regardless. Where am I teleporting to? I'm teleporting to 50. Make that 200. Go to this one, which doesn't seem to matter. And we can set a height requirement to it. And that should help. Delete the labyrinth. Go back to the data pack. Go to functions. Labyrinth. Get that over. Stick it in there. So we want to be I don't know, how many blocks? 20 blocks? So from 80 to 50. Alright, let's see if that delay helps at all. Home. Why? We're at 200. The next section is not actually working. Alright, because I'm not falling. So I fall once I get... There we go. Sort of in the ground, but it's fine. And it built. Okay. That is helpful. None of the item frames seem to have been turned into anything, which is problematic. That's more, I have to mess around with the numbers. Next thing we have to tackle is it continuing to generate rooms as we move about, which it should be. When we get to this position, it should generate here and back. Actually, rather, when we get to this position, it should generate the next room over there. In terms of entities, there is a ton of them. Is it arm stands? It has to be item frames, but yeah, there's one armor stand. Now that's curious. I'm not quite sure what other entities it could be. I wish you could grab a list. It's not item frames. I'm guessing I have a marker leak somewhere? Nope. Block display leak? Okay, so there's a block display leak somewhere. Where it's spawning in a bunch of block displays. Just fine. The only one that spawns in block displays is this. No, I just realized what it is. It is, unfortunately, portals. Yeah. I suppose it doesn't look too bad as just red hyphy instead. This also did not delete itself, so that's also a problem. It should have. Now it's just a normal end portal. Right. In order to cut down on lag, I guess I got to get rid of the item displays. We go back to structures. It isn't so hard. I just leave them as the red hyphy. I like the look though, and the fact that, you know, it means more touching this and being teleported out. But it is really bad for lag. Wish there was just a... I don't think you can anymore. Give yourself the portal block. No. It might be nether portal. I'm pretty sure you can't. And I can set the block, but then I'm actually setting nether portal, which doesn't quite work. I think we just delete it and just go with the red hyphy. You touch it, you get teleported out, right? Floor is lava, basically. Destroy all. Yeah, this does cause a bit too much lag. I suppose I could make it actually lava, but then the flowing might also cause issues. No, I'll leave it as this. Alright, so it means I have to update all of these. That's fine. Just go save. Save. Okay. That means we can then grab them. Save, structures, generated, root chant, structures. I can't be bothered. I'll just copy them all again. It does save them under the data pack. Rune chant, structure, labyrinth. And replace. Alright. That should cut down on lag, which is good. Next issue we had was the portal not destroying itself. L. Where's L? A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Hey, Artie Beast. How you doing? Why did this not occur? I assume it's because of the alignment from where the marker was spawned, which is a problem. I could make it a fill command, and that would handle its deletion. I'm doing good. Troubleshooting some buggy stuff. You're more than welcome to, but straight up, not looking for anything. In all honesty. We do fill. We do air. We replace. 10 portal frame. Yeah, I'm more than happy to take a look, but again, really not looking for anything. 1, 1, -1, -1. That should make sure it always gets the portal. That should be that taken care of. Should be fine. Test it again. No worries, man. I'll take a look once I'm done streaming. No idea. All good, man. Alright, let's see if this works now. Teleport in, we fall. Oh, and it did build. Alright, so it actually tells me the delay, which is quite interesting, because we fell for a really long time before it loaded in. But lag is better. Entity count is significantly better. The item frame is still an issue, and the continuing of the map as we move about is also an issue. That's fine. So the next thing is to look into. We go back to Enchanter's Labyrinth. Yeah, it is unfortunate, Ryan. I thought, yeah, they looked cool, and obviously the whole idea was they're meant to be the portal home. I mean, I don't mind it in the dark. Oh, no, that was an accident. Right, we can go back. Right, doesn't clear full damage. Huh, that's also an issue. Is that really how it works? I've always thought your TP. Nope. Film carries your own momentum. I think you can set a PNG though for the dimension background. I might do that to snazz it up. Oh god. Gotta get Entity Us. What is the... I suppose I can give the player resistance, or don't change their... You know the easiest way is just to give them full resistance. Was it feather... safe falling? Slow falling. No, but slow falling wrecks it. Does resistance prevent full damage? I remember. It does, perfect. Alright, that'll do then. Well. Got anything I need? No, good. That's actually curious. It destroyed part of this multi-block. Okay. Game mode back to creative. Burn. Burn for me. I just realized I have no game sound. No music is meant to be off because I'm playing my own. That's a bit better. Alright. So the teleport in is this one. Back to give... I don't know, like 10 seconds should be fine. At S. Distance. My brain can't commute. Was it? At infinite, we do like 10 seconds, 99. Wrong one. Alright, so that stops you dying. Now the one we have to look at is going to be controller, I think. No. No, it's in tick player. This one. So, whenever x does not equal x old, it's going to be these unless statements that are screwing me up. Yeah. Because you can't move diagonally through the map. So, God. Work, brain, work. This side is X. So that means I get rid of Z. This side is Z, so I get rid of X. X. And I can also do greater than or larger than. To also control it better. We'll start with this, see if it works. Right, but that should cause it to be building properly. Hopefully. We shouldn't die on impact. Fall. Teleport. No damage. I need to make it one higher. Okay. It worked, but it's not in the correct position. There we go. Right, so if I head in this direction, it keeps building. Is the basic gist. And it's not getting higher or anything like that, right? So, it's basically a roguelite, right? Where it's procedurally generated as you move about the map. But, as you can also see, it re-updates when we head backwards as well. Meaning that no matter how you sort of, circle around, it should always be new. That's the idea. So the way the dungeons work is it's like a random event, basically. So similar to the season system, although it's probably way too far gone. Basically, I have a random thing that spawns in a marker. And in this marker's case, it has the tags, square, 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 square. That's season, just because that's the blanket tag I use for checking if it's an interaction. And then we have, God. I always make them way complex when I shouldn't. Entities, interactions. Basically, these are all the different markers that spawn in and do something. We have Labyrinth Gates, which is also the wrong one to look at. I should be looking at the controller. Yeah, so if it has this combination of tags, ta-da, that spawns in. And then when you find out in the world, all you have to do is chuck in a iVendor, and it opens. And then you can go into it. Oh, I forgot. I meant to fall and then it'll teleport me to the correct spot. Yeah. And that's how you end up here. And then if you fall out of the world, it's entirely possible because there are cracks. Or if you touch the red, you will be sent back home. Alright, and also eats the eye. It lasts for, I think I have it set currently for 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, this will disappear, and you have to wait for another one to spawn out in the world. Right, so you have to find them, and then you've got, like, time period to go explore this dungeon dimension. Get all your loot and get out. The difficulty will be, one, I want to make it ramp in difficulty the longer you spend time in there. Then also, basically give the player a ton of stuff, so it becomes a question of what do you bring back, what do you keep. Yeah, I do like it. The reason there are glow item frames is in case it spawns underground. Plus, I think they frame the portal a bit better. I was thinking trapdoors, but then I don't like the fact that players can interact with the trapdoors. The sound effect is also a bit wonky. Yeah. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, but we have to continue fleshing out the spawning. I think I've just set it to the wrong range. The idea was, though, I didn't want it to completely replace the tile, or chunk, actually, chunk's a better way of saying it, the chunk that you're right next to, right? So it always hits the one furthest. Yeah, no matter what direction I go in, it spawns. But as you can see, it's causing these bad gaps. So actually, what I think I just need to do is extend the base spawn. No, I can see. Well, I'm flying somewhere I can't fly. Trying to think mapping-wise. Although, it is a maze, so in this sense of it generating over there, you can see it, but all of a sudden you have to, I guess, backtrack and go around to it. I guess that's kind of a neat idea, right? Or if you had an elytra, you could fly over to that one now. Maybe I don't mind the weird spawning mechanic. But I do like the idea that they constantly change. And that's the same for the internals. I suppose I should show that off, right? So this is top layer, which is basically parkour focused, right? So you've got all these different platforms to jump all over to. But if you touch the red, you teleport out. Then you have the first layer, which is just, I don't really know what to call it, Blackstone Cavern-esque, right? You can go across. And then you have a labyrinth of... Ooh. Where did you come out from? That's a curiosity. I guess because these are stairs, because I tried to make the world pretty. So I guess that's a problem. But then you have a amethyst mine sort of area, right? That's a complete maze. Well, I don't mind the water. Maybe. And then down the bottom, you have the little purposity. The end-esque. Then you have to figure out how to, again, navigate it. Ooh. I don't remember where the actual doors are in this one. They should all interconnect. Did I go the wrong layer, maybe? Ah, right, the staircase right here. Yeah, and then you can come through. Now you notice this sort of skips over this layer. But I think I've differentiated the room sort of nice-ishly. Do I want gaps? Do I not want gaps? I was thinking of like spawning in TNT randomly as well, just to give it more variation. But in essence, it is sort of working. The spawn rates for chests and everything seems to be very, very bad. So I need to fix that up as well. We might as well just drop out. I do very much like the safety net, though, if you fall out of the world. Ooh. That's a little bit of a problem. When did this happen? It's still happening? I mean, it's not horrible. It kind of looks a lot better underground. The question is it still updating? Because it really shouldn't. It shouldn't happen at all in this dimension. I'm just hoping this was something that went wrong while I was testing it. I can't tell if anything is updating. It doesn't look like any of the sections are changing as we move about. Or maybe they are. Extending? Can't tell. So, new items. Let's have some fun. Worry about that later. So, if I go... Loot give us... Glossary... Jigsaw. I'll start with the 5. So you can find... You can find rations. You can find... rotting rations. Find golden dew. shrinking tonic. And then resource-wise, I have to remember what they're all called. Let's see, soul... Actually, did I give them a new number? I might have given them a new number. Enchants, glossary, loot tables, jigsaw. I did not, which means I don't know what their names are. There's a few new weapons to make from the resource you get from here as well. I haven't... Oh, they're right here. I didn't actually put them into a folder yet. That's my bad. Makes it easier though. Except apparently none of them work. Well, these ones do. Little glowy crystals. Be used for some crafting. What else do we have? We have the splinter. Majority of it is just going to be crafting materials. Like scroll, blackstone ingots, a little dark. And then the last one, which is the sulfide fragment, does not appear to be working. I'm glad you made me look, because now I have to figure out what's the issue. The issue is no comma. Done. Solved. But the food is quite good. Oh yeah. Yeah, so these are basically all the resources you can harvest from the area. Plus, you know, I'll throw in random drops and add a lot of the other pack resources. It'll basically be just a good all-around spot to farm up if you want to sort of speed up, you know, getting the spells and all the other systems in the pack. But we have the shrinking tonic, which does exactly what it says. Drinks us. It's quite useful for also exploring the labyrinth, because I've made sure to make sure there's little openings for you to run about in. Then we have Golden Dew, which gives you just a bunch of buffs, but it's also a really good food source, like golden carrots, but not quite enchanted apples. Then we have Run Food. Unfortunately, it gives us negative effects, but it's quite quick to eat. So I'm in creative, so I'm placing them all. And then normal rations, which are also quick to eat. So both of them are a lot quicker to eat than normal food, right? So it's worth in itself to stack it up and be your normal food source. But yeah, it's mainly the resources. Which will then lead to the weapons. Nope. 6, nope, 7. So the Burning Scepter, Ender Spark, Added Ice, Splinter Bark, and Tempest Caller, which will basically allow you to access some of the seasonal powers, which is a whole nother thing. I'm trying to interconnect the systems a little bit better. Okay, so we have a little Scepter, we have a fancy Ender Sword, with like a punchy glaive weapon, nice big axe, and a claw. And they each represent the 5 different seasons that I have going on for the pack as well. Basically, they'll be crafted from these materials, along with some other stuff as well. Yeah, I didn't want to add too much. I just want to make it an alternative place to farm, right? That's my general idea for all the different dimensions. So like the Enchanter's Nexus, you can speed up advancements, but also get good resources. They're just places you can go, right, to farm and get everything you need to actually do the normal stuff in the pack, rather than just, you know, spending all your time in the overworld farming up the random stuff that happens. In terms of mobs, still working on that. I don't know if I'll give them anything fancy or just make it, you know, similar to like the trial chambers. Alright, I can get rid of the chunks because that's all working. What we do need to do is time set day is fix up spawning bits. We'll delete it so we can start from scratch. enchant functions. Enters Labyrinth. I think what I want to do is the initial spawn. I want to make larger. I'm trying to think if there's ever a block you could get to that would be bad. It would cause holes. I said that really badly. Basically, we want to go for another layer, which is crazy. It's like something I need to map out. With like paint. So basically, currently we have these all get spawned in, a 9 by 9. Problem is, next one doesn't spawn in until you move to here, and then that spawns in here instead. So if I make another layer, then it should be fine. If you get to here, that spawns in, you get to here, that spawns in, and that should spawn in. No, because the x-axis is not changing, so that actually won't spawn in. Alright, so that's sort of the problem. They'll just give their normal loot. So it's also a way to farm. One of the things I really dislike about the vaults is their inability to reset. It's kind of stupid that they're like the trial spawners are farmable, but the vaults are not renewable. But it's also a good way to go and have access to a lot more vaults if you explore. The problem is, when we move here, this is not being built. Maybe I should just make it when you update in any direction, the quadrants around you get replaced. Regardless. Because it is meant to be a labyrinth, so it can be ever shifting. And using place really does not cause a lot of lag, interestingly. But I still have to spawn in the extra perimeter. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have to remember, or I have to figure out all the digits. Start from one corner and make it easier on myself. Okay. It'd be 32. Then it'd also be negative 32. It'd stay 32, but then this goes to negative 16. Alright, this won't be so hard. 32, 32, 16, 32, 32. Yeah, I just have to do that over and over again. That's one line. Might as well just do it the opposite way instead of trying to hurt my head. Negative 32. Negative 16. That stays the same. Alright, so now top, bottom done. It's these three squares. The what? Some combination that we're missing, which is all the in between. So it's two sets of 3, and it goes 16. It goes negative 16, 16. Negative 16, 16. Now what number am I missing? Did I do that correctly? Yeah. Which is also a really good plus. I mean, I'm definitely gonna do my own things to spice up the difficulty. But I'm glad they made Omen so impactful. That's correct, these need to be constant, but what do these need to be? 32, 32, 32. I hope I've done this correctly. That's my head trying to think spatially about it. And then for the tick player, basically what we want to do is double this up. Through that. Do that. Have it always build in those 4 cardinal directions. Let's have negative 32. 32, negative 32. It should be 32, negative 32. Same with this. So no matter what direction you move in, it will update. Alright, so that should take care of the building. Let's make sure. Might as well spawn it in. Ah. It won't spawn in unless it's on the ground. Yeah. Away we go. I did delete the dimension, didn't I? I think I did. Alright, I also didn't shift this up. So this should now be a 5x5. Cool. Which it is. Perfect. We go this way. Yep, and that one replaced, but it's fine. We go this way. Ah, there's still a hole. Problem is, I think what I have to do is make it always replace the ones around the player. I suppose isn't horrible. It also means you could just go back and forth, back and forth. There's no incentive to go outwards with it. Well, actually, I suppose the connection of rooms is why you'd go back and forth. This still fixes a lot, right? Because now we can move in this direction. The problem is, unless there's rooms here. I suppose it's still that goal I hope, just a lot more manageable. Where you can fill in the blanks depending on where you move to. Eventually, I mean, you could just go in a straight line, well, on some of these segments. Down the bottom, you can't go in a straight line. You definitely have to backtrack maybe and go a different way. It should feel like a labyrinth. The other option, if I can find the right corner, that's not going to be it. F3G, do this corner. Because basically I can have a block spawn here. So without like colliding this entity with something, no, because I've shaped them so they don't hit the edge, which is bad. So if I were to fill in this section, right, I could check when the arm stand collides with something, and then build off of that instead. Or I could have something else spawn in. There's no good way to check blocks, I think. Well, actually you can. I just do execute. Actually, you're absolutely on something, yeah. If I just do execute if, because I always know the position. So if I just do execute if block, you know, just check if it's not air, but I have to go a few blocks over where the corner is. Yeah, and then have that spawn it in. I still want it to actively change and reset previous areas. But yes, we do want it to be a bit more consistent in where it spawns stuff in. Basically, what I need it to do then is whenever the arm stand moves, also we should do this on this world, a lot easier. Basically, when the arm stand moves to there, it spawns in this chunk. What I want the arm stand to then also do is check if there's a block in this chunk, oh, if I could get the position, you get what I mean, and this chunk. And then tell it to spawn in those as well, if there is. So we'll only reshape those rooms if there's not something there already. Otherwise, it'll only reshape the ones away from the player, which is definitely a better way of doing it. Right? So you can always go into 3x3, and then you can backtrack, and you have to go back through 2 rooms, always to get something new. Yeah, so you're on the money with how we need to do this. When the build runs, at the end of it, we need to check and then rerun it at that position, basically. We don't want it to loop, though, that's the issue. But I can't stick it here, because if I stick it here, it will just endlessly expand. I suppose it isn't horrible. We'll test it, we'll see how much lag there is, right? So if I just do exactly what I said, but now I have to remember the room layouts, right? So if it's in this corner, we have to check block. If there's a block, where's that? 1, 2, 3, 3 in each direction. So it executes unless block, if block. 1, 2, 3, and we just go 3, 3 in every way, yeah. Did I write that statement correctly? I did. Minecraft Air. Alright, so 3, 3, negative 3, 3, negative, negative, negative. Right? So if there's an air block, then we want it to rerun the function. It's build underscore labyrinth. It's also in a folder. Then we also have to make sure it's positioned in the correct spot as well. So it checks that position, and then it will reposition to where it should build. It will always be over 16, depending on which chunk we're targeting. Positive is always the chunk it's meant to be in, so that's fine. It's gonna be those chunks. The negative, negative should be negative, negative. Yeah, this just follow the negative signs. Negative, negative. Have I done the corners or have I done the sides? No, I've done this wrong. It should be negative, negative. It should be negative 3 on the Z. And negative 3 on the X. Yeah. Yeah, and that should be the 4 blocks. Hopefully. If I haven't screwed it up. And should never have to check itself, because that's always the chunk it's spawning in. Now the question is whether or not the game can handle this. Because this should basically cause it to spawn as far as the player render distances, basically. Because since it's now repositioned, it will just check the block and then move over again and again. So it should cause a huge amount of natural growth straight away, which is fine. Dimensions, am I on the right? I think I'm on the right one. Yeah, saves, dimensions, delete. I'm in the wrong dimension. I have the tag still. I do. Oh, that's not good. I wrote something badly, I think. Also, it's nighttime. Function. Ends labyrinth. Yeah, builder's not there. Where is the typo? My favorite game. Has to be in one of the ones we just made. Ah, I didn't set the actual block. Fantastic. Or I did, I moved it wrong. Yeah. That should be a little better. Also need to make sure it's deleting the arm stand. That's another issue. Whenever we leave, it should get rid of the arm stand. Nope. I see no armor stand now. But I guess it is deleting it. Yes, there's no entity. Oh. Ah. Yeah, okay. Problem. It cannot handle this. It cannot handle constantly checking and trying to build. Well, it can. It just... Again, it will run until we get to the, our rendered distance. Until then, it's basically crashed. Actually, apparently it's going on infinitely. I'm going to do that before it gets out of hand. And we should definitely do that. Oh, that's the wrong one. I guess because it's still technically open. Yeah, so that was the problem. It just keeps running endlessly. I can just stick it on somewhere else instead of that. Basically, whenever the... how to do this? I can just check if there's an armor stand there. So it never builds more than a 4x4. Although I should technically make it build a 9x9. If I'm being realistic. Let's do that side of things first. 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. We need to stop it looping. It's always at the position where... Also, Minecraft star isn't closed. It's always at the position where the arm stand should be, so we just do... if entity at E... type equals arm stand. And then distance equals ... 1. So if there's an armor stand there, it'll be fine. If there's no armor stand there, it shouldn't endlessly loop. Is the idea. This also handles the initial building, so I shouldn't need to specify all the positions, as long as this works. What we do have to do is, again, check the air. So it's always 3, 3 plus 16, basically. Which is how I should technically do it, so it's always in the correct position. So what I should really do is put that here. Do the correct position. It never has to be in the middle, so I don't need one of these. And then we specify the chunks around it. I'm gonna have to Let's close it. Where are you, Minecraft? That's the launcher, though. End task. I think we got it. Okay, so 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got round, so it's 16. 16, 16. Also, has anyone else noticed how obnoxiously long the launcher takes to load? I don't know if it's because of all the stupid marketplace stuff that they're trying to push down your throat, but it's pretty awful, in all honesty. If I mess this up somewhere, 16, 16, negative, 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 nothing. Negative 16. 16. 16. I did. Have I screwed this up? I mean, that should be fine. That should be all the quadrants. 16, 16. Now then I jump over here. I go there. I go there. And that's all the combinations of numbers. That should be fine. Then we do the same thing, right? It's always 3 by 3 away. I find it weird, right? Because Marketplace doesn't do anything for Java either. I don't know why it's, on the home screen. I understand if it's on the Minecraft for Windows. Alright. So it should be an empty dimension, thankfully. Or we are back home. I remember teleporting back home. There are lag spikes, but it should level out. Weirdly, there are hardly any entities as well. The problem. There should be item frames. I'm using item frames to mark where to spawn stuff. The lack of lag is better. Move into this direction. Sort of working. It is still missing zones, and I don't know why. Would have to be with the testing. Am I checking the wrong section? I'm pretty sure I built everything in the positive direction, though. Also, just... how bad is it as we walk around? Yeah, see, sort of spikes because of how much it's trying to build. Don't know if that mode is the right way to handle this. Maybe I'm going over the top with how many checks I'm running. Oh, interesting. YouTube Music is crapped itself. Alright, let's think about this. How much I actually have to do. And also, if I am building in the correct directions, I should be. Yeah, positive, positive, right? Positive, positive. Yeah, so I'm always checking... God, stop disappearing. Always checking the third block, which was correct, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's always a full block. That's fine. During Minecraft doesn't want to play music either. See if I reopen it. There we go. If block is still definitely correct. You know, when I start by testing it and making sure. I mean, the height is wrong on this one, but other than that, it should be fine. Execute as the arm stand. It doesn't need the entity parts. I need the positions. Alright, if block 3, 3. Just tell me if this is true or not. It should say false. Oh, okay. That's wrong. Right, I haven't corrected the height. How many high up is it? 1, 2... That's 4 up. Bet you there's an air block there, which it shouldn't, because that's... Yeah, that's a block itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I've messed up this number, then. What that means, because this should be no air block. Am I miscounting the height? Ah. Boy. At. Okay, apparently it's not at. Got the arm stand. Going 3, 3, and 4. That should be that corner block. It should not be air at the moment. Alright, well now it's not working, because it's not air. Does this command just not work? This is 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't... Why are you passing? Is it because you're off-center? I could see that slightly being the reason. Okay, so now it's not working. Let's stop saying pass. Yeah, so it is because it's off-center. So instead of 3, it should be 2.5 is what I'm gathering. I always thought it rounded though. I guess not when you're using this command. There's too many things in chat. Alright, so it's passing. I believe this is meant to be 5 then? Nope. Can't count. Alright, so half block, 1 block, 2 block. Half block, 1 block, 2 block. That's where they meet. We go up 1, 2, 3. That's 3. So I miscounted the ones on. Either way. That should not matter. So it should just be 2.5. For starters. All these should be 2.5. Very much... I did. That's annoying. Okay, so that should be checking the correct position then. Does that curve the lag? Or do I have to cut this down? Still might be trying to check too many positions at once. Also forgot to delete the dimension. Still kind of massive spikes. Yeah. Calms down. Yet it still has that awful gap. You know what I need to do? Rather than what I'm trying to do on the build function, it should just be when the player enters this chunk, the armor stand is in this corner. It tries to build here, here. No, it just tries to build here. It should just be the 4 quadrants around it. That should always create the position. Yeah, because you can't go diagonal from any of the rooms, so it should always just be that one, that one, that one, and that one. For starters. So, anywhere there's 2 numbers is wrong. Oh. Second, it shouldn't be part of this. It should be part of the player walking about. Which means we should do execute at instead. And get rid of that. That way it doesn't loop either. And it should just be on the controller section, I think. And that should cause it to build... Yeah. Oh. Why? Did I typo something? Please just let it be a typo. Oh, apparently it's not a typo. What has to be the if again? I mean, they should all be the same. There should always be a block there. I suppose I could just be checking like that block, I suppose, instead. Right now, there's nothing there. So if I execute... God, which direction is that? That is the negative x direction. Alright, so that's not building. Why? Execute at entity positions. Well, for starters, I copied the wrong one. Yeah, but it's still not building. So it executes at the armor stand, it then moves over a chunk, negative 16. And then it checks if there's an air block. Which there should definitely be an air block. Right? I don't know why I have a second position. Labyrinth is still there, so that's fine. If I get rid of the if statements, because that seems to be the issue. It still is not building anything. Why is it not building anything? That's the question now. Executing at the armor stand. Lag is not an issue. The build command is just gone awful. Why? It makes no sense. If I just use it myself, it works. But me executing at this arm stand doesn't seem to work. If I get rid of the position, nope, it still doesn't work. Very weird. Like it doesn't like executing as the armor stand? Or do I have to do at and as? Do as and at? And that seems weird. It's all something flash. Is one of these being replaced? Am I just in the wrong direction? No, I'm just crazy. Nothing's being replaced. It's not building at all. No, it should always be that direction. It should always be here. Problem is, it obviously works, because I can move and we still get buildings. at some weird points. See? So it is working to some degree. Just not when I type it in. Which is just weird. Yeah. What? This is very confusing. What's the difference? When in doubt, reload the world. Oh, still doesn't like it. Yeah, it still does because as a function it still works. So this is the normal building mechanic, right? Where it's replacing the ones in the cardinal directions. The one that's not working is when I try to specifically do it off the armor stand. So what's the overall difference then? I'm still executing at the armor stand, I'm still setting its position, and then I'm running the function. Is it because I don't have sort nearest? Weirdly? Is there another arm stand? Yeah, okay. Never the game, it's always you. Ugh. Let's just forget that happened, shall we? Yeah, and this is the chunk I'm meant to be in, so that's why it's not actually working. We move to this one, briefly. It built here, and it would have built here now. Yeah, okay. So everything's working. We're back on track. I touched the red blocks. Of course I did. And now I'm suffocating for whatever reason. The first time the teleport back has sort of ruined me. I think because I touched it from the bottom weirdly. Yeah, so I also don't want to be in the floor, so we have to move that up one block. We need to delete the labyrinth again. I don't know why I'm here. Just touch the red. Alright, we're in the correct position. If you're curious what I'm doing here, I might as well explain it. Why we can see the chunk boundary slightly before we teleport away. Basically, I teleport to the spawn, and then I have coordinates saved, and I'm moving the player, so you always go back to where you came from. It's really annoying to figure out because of trying to make sure chunks were loaded and teleporting you around. And it happens so quickly, which is kind of cool. Anyway, let's exit that, delete the dimension, hop back in. Actually, before I do, we will change the teleport in. Not that one, this one. Instead of 50, we want 51. Give me another. Let's just grab a whole stack. Okay, off we go. The only thing I have not yet set as well is it should be putting me into adventure mode whenever we hop into the dimension. I'm glad I'm not, because obviously that'd be annoying. But that way you can't destroy anything. Alright, so it spawns the initial 5x5, so that's perfect. Then we start moving about. Spawns in that new one. And that new one. And then when we get here... Spawned in there. And there. That one and that one are correct. Didn't spawn in here. That's a problem. Yeah. You move over one, it'll spawn in because that's the randomizer section. When you get to this chunk, okay, so it's working in the positive direction, it looks like. It's not working in any other direction. Let's see. If we get here, it should spawn in both. Done. Done. If we continue this way, it's not working in this direction, which is... Well, the lag spikes are a bit of an issue. I can look at the little compass thing. Except I don't actually know what colors are which. I'm assuming red is X. Yeah, red is X. So negative Z is not working for whatever reason. Why is negative Z not working? Well, that'll probably do it. We have a double up. Done. Thank God. Everything else is fine. Yeah. Alright, so the other issue was spawning. So we have Crucible spawn, Mob spawn, and Treasure spawn. So basically it runs this check. If you have more luck, you'll get better loot. There is a 20% chance that an item frame turns into nothing. And that's a problem, because also this distance is clearing more item frames than it should. Then also this one. Execute at any item frame that has a spawner, unless there's a block of air. It'll delete itself. I think that's the main issue, is it deleting a bunch of them. But I think the 20% chance is probably still high. And maybe I should decrease that. Because we were getting some loot. But the top area here should be a lot less barren. I don't know if I can actually show off the item frames. We get a piece that has item frames. I feel like they should, but they're not. Well, actually, there's a shulker. We are getting some loot. It should sort of be a lot more common than it is. But I think it's mainly the chance that I need to fix up. Also, I haven't really fleshed out the loot table, they're just placeholders at the moment. It's not... Oh, that one changed though. Not super exciting unless there's a bunch. Oh, I made it. Yeah, so I think it's just the rate. 5% is too low. Causes it to not happen way too often. Which I was actually worried that it would cause too much loot to spawn. I might as well just take it straight out and put it into the worst quality. 101, 100, 101. There should be more loot, but more bad loot. I should say subpar loot. There was one. There's another. There's a spawner. Yeah, and the top is sort of like the chicken level, right? All you're doing is parkour, so I don't want too many enemies, I don't want too much loot. It sort of feels like it should be a little bit more. Basically what I'm doing... Go all the way to the top. I'm just replacing item frames Yeah, so this is the weird one, right? There's the ability for 4 shulker boxes to spawn. But we're very rarely getting that. We're only getting 1. Although I could say we haven't actually gone the large tower yet, which is like the treasure tower. There's 4. Yeah, so no loots. Chance at 4. Chance at 4. Chance at 1. Then a 4. I guess it's kind of been fair. I feel like we haven't seen the 2 big towers that often, actually. But, most importantly, the dimension is working, which is cool. I just have to write the loot tables and the mob spawners, and we're happy. Yeah. Am I at the world height? Is that the issue? No, I can build higher. It just seems like we're not getting the big ones that off. No. That's a 4x4. I think it's that one. That one and this one is not. Hard to tell because there's only 5 different ones, but they're very similar. Either way, you can run about and explore. And that seems good. I have to tweak all the numbers. I mean, there's a few popping up. Yeah, I'm glad this is working as it is. The nice thing is I can just build them whenever I feel like it, and then add new variations to the pool whenever I want. Or, you know, I can have people submit them. That'd be good. And just put the template out there, and anyone who wants to make one within the template, right? So having the different layers. Basically, you just can't change the doorways or the size. But anything internally, you can do whatever you want. But I think it's going alright for loot. If we're high enough, we can see the item frames. Right, so it's 4x4. When we get close to it, it has that chance to spawn. But I am very surprised we have not gotten a single double. Actually, I think I know why. I think I should change it to a roll. So although I like the RNG system I built, the problem is if you have things happen, you know, a tick similar to one another, it causes quite skewed results would be the way. So for instance, when we go to the actual build, I'm using the new random function to control, you know, there's only 5 options. Whereas in this case, it can generate, you know, 90, 80, 70 back to back, and that will hit this nothing spawn. Maybe I should just get rid of the nothing spawn altogether. Yeah, it'll be fine. I have to play around with it a bit more. But, again, proof of concept, which is perfect, because this was also a test run, right, of the system I want to make for the Enchanter's Nexus. Not as convoluted as this, but a similar spawning mechanic. But I'm glad things can change and, you know, generate as you're moving about. Oh, I touched the red. Oh, you carry momentum, that's cool. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there for today. I just have boring writing to do, plus it's late. So, I don't know, I'll do that tomorrow, and then we'll be back for some more testing. Hopefully I can put it out soon enough, right, with this new feature. Although, we do have another big thing to tackle, which will be reworking all the advancements again, just to make it a bit more understandable. Because this is definitely grown and grown and grown, and it can be quite confusing. Yeah. Anyway. Anyone still hanging around? Thank you. Anyone watching posts? Thanks as well. Still chilling, Ryan? Cheers, and